So you can see the slides again?
Yes, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. So this was the last slide that we stopped. And as I told you, we are not going to cover the second model, which is production order quantity. This is also called POQ. So we will not cover it, and it will not be asked in your final exam. However, I have provided the slides. If you are interested, you can review the slides and learn more. The basic idea for them is that we are not just consuming, we are also producing, okay? So this is for a system that has production added to your inventory and consumption that reduces your inventory. So your production system, instead of being a kind of totally straight and then reduce, so it's like a slope system and then reduce. So that's the only difference. And because of that, the formula is all the same, only um, instead of 1, you have P minus D. So P means production, D means consumption, divided by P, multiplied to all of your system, even to your UQ or Q star. Okay, UQ or Q star have the same meaning. Yeah, you remember? They have the same meaning. So this fraction or coefficient is added to all components of your system. Again, it's not going to be asked in your final exam. And there is an example to learn more about that. Okay, this is the end of the second model. Now we want to learn about the third model. Okay, third model is in your final exam, and you need to learn deeply about that. Okay, the third model is called quantity discount model. Okay, and before I want to start, do you have any example of quantity discount model in your mind? Does it bring any example in your mind? So it's like if you buy one unit.
Like, I mean, sir, it could be possible that if we buy more than, or let's say 100 pieces, they might get some discount on this. For example, 2% or 3% extra on the price. That kind
That's
of.
right. That's exactly right. So thank you for that. So if you buy one item, you have to pay $10. For example, this is just one example. If you buy 100 units, you need to pay $9.5. So a little bit discount because you have ordered more. Okay, you have purchased more. So this is a kind of motivation for us to purchase more. And because of that, we need to see how much this motivational discount will change the basic questions. So we had two basic questions, yeah? Do you remember? What was the first one?
How
When
much
to
cost
order and how to order.
How to
Ex
order and
and when?
when to order.
exactly. How many and when? How many to order and when to order? So we want to see this discount, how much this discount will impact, will be changed based on, will change those two basic questions. Okay, let's start with assumptions, okay? Assumptions means something that we have in our mind when we try to study this model, which is quantity discount model. Okay, demand rate is continuous at a constant rate, no change with the classical model. Constant lead time, no change. Constant unit price, no change. Fixed order cost per order. So all of them are the same. The only thing that is changed is here, allowing quantity discount. We didn't have it in our EOQ model, yeah? In EOQ model or basic EOQ model, we didn't have this assumption. But here we have this assumption that we are allowed to have some discounts based on the quantity that we purchase. Okay, so let's see how many types of discount we may have. The first system of discount is called all unit quantity discount, which is a very simple system. We will study this system. The other side, or the second type of quantity discount systems, are called incremental unit quantity discount. We will not cover it, okay? Uh, I have just mentioned it to know that there is another system, but we will not cover it. So let's see what's the difference between these two units. Can somebody help if you have studied before? What's the difference between these two systems?
Sir, I have not studied, but I can guess like all unit quantity discount is a total discount on the quantity, and incremental is how you increase the quantity, how you purchase the quantity, you will get discount on that. For example, you buy 100 units, you will
Mhm.
get, for example, 5%. If you 100 200, you will get 10% more, something like that.
Excellent. That's right. So let me give you one example. If you buy from 1 to 10 units, so the price will be $5, okay? If you buy from 11 to 100, okay, then your price will be $4.5, okay, per unit. Okay, if I use this system and I purchase 100 units, how much I should pay? Very simple, yeah. 100 multiply which number?
4.5.
Okay, which is $45, right? Oh,
Can you please explain?
okay, that's very simple. So I should just see that 100 is in which bracket. So that's in this range. So I am buying 100. So 100 multiply, how much is the price of each unit? 4.5. So it will be 450. Okay, if I use the second system, how much I should pay? So from 1 to 10, it will be $5.
5, yeah.
So it will be 10
10
multiply
into 5,
$5. So
50.
how much will be? $50
Yeah,
for the first 10 units. And
90
then I have to pay another 90
into
units,
4.5. Yeah.
4.5. Okay. So whatever this is, you have to add this one to the multiplication of this one, and then you will have the total money that you have to pay. We will not cover this one, okay? So forget about the difficult method. We're going to use the simple one. So we just look at how many you want to purchase, 100, and you will see that 100 is in which bracket or in which range. And in this range, how much is the unit price, okay? Everybody understand? That's the meaning of all unit discount system. Okay, so as you can see here, it will be like this. If I just want to use the previous system, from 0 to 10 units, this is the price, which is the most expensive one. Then from 10 units to 100, the price will be something. So as you can see, this is lower. Yeah, the price has been reduced a little bit. And if you want to buy above 100 units, the price will be reduced again. So we will have another discount here. So as you purchase more, you will see more discounts. Okay. Now we have another figure to just discuss what we have learned so far. So from 0 to B1, for example, here is 10 units. This is the price, okay? This is the price. This line is representing the price. Then from 10 to, let's say, 100 units, whatever, the price will be this line, okay? This will be the range. Then from 100 to, let's say, 200, whatever, This will be the range. So it looks that we will have more discounts here. And then from 200 and above that, this will be the line. So as you can see, in each bracket or in each range, we will have more discounts and the unit price is reducing. But there is a basic question that which of these ranges, number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4, is more attractive for me, is more reasonable for me, okay? Definitely, if I just want to say attractive, this one is more attractive, yeah? Everybody agrees? Because we have more discount, yeah? So I would like to purchase in this range. But the discount is not the only criteria that I decide to purchase. There is other criteria as well. What is the other criteria?
Customer demand.
Inventory costs will increase because of the high purchase.
Okay, thank you. The answer is total cost. Okay,
Total cost.
I have to look at total cost. Do you remember in basic economic order quantity, what was my criteria in order to decide the economic order quantity? What was the basic or the main criteria? Total cost, yeah?
Total cost. Yeah.
So I am going to use the same criteria here. So I'm going to use total cost again here in order to decide which of these ranges, number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4, makes more sense for me to purchase. Okay. So everybody understand the concept that what we are talking about? I have not started the calculation. I'm just trying to represent the, I'm just trying to discuss that what is the concept that we are looking for. And the answer was total cost. I am trying to show that the main criteria to decide is not the discount level. The main criteria is total cost. If the criteria was discount level, what was the most appropriate one? The cheapest one, yeah? So the level, exactly. So this level was the most attractive for me because if I purchase more, I will receive more discount. But if you purchase more, you need to pay for inventory. Is it correct? You need to pay for many other parameters. So let's see how to solve this a little bit complicated problem. Okay, in order to answer it, you have to follow 5 steps, okay? In order to calculate economic order quantity. What are these 5 steps? Number 1, you need to calculate economic order quantity or Q star, okay? Q star for the minimum unit price. What is the minimum unit price? The best discount, yeah? The lowest price. So the first step is to calculate EOQ or Q star for the maximum discount or for the lowest price. You need to calculate it. After you calculate economic order quantity for the lowest price or for the maximum discount, if you found that the economic order quantity is valid, you are done. You don't need to go to a step number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you don't need to go there. If you found that economic order quantity or Q star, okay, is valid, you are done. You don't need to go further. But can somebody help me that how to decide if Q star is valid or not valid? How can I find it? I will discuss it later. Okay, so just keep in mind that all you need to do is to calculate Q star and check if it is valid or not valid. Okay. If economic order quantity is not valid, what should you do? You should go to step number 2. Okay. In step number 2, you will calculate you will find the total annual cost for the cheapest price, okay, or for the lowest discount. So you will find the total cost for this range, and you will see how much is your total cost in the system. Okay, so this is step number 2. Step number 3 will be the calculation of EQ for the other regs, okay, for the other ranges. So after you calculate EQ for Q star for this range and total cost for this range, then you need to calculate Q star for this range, Q star 3, Q star 4, and total cost 3 for this range, and for this range, and for this range, for all of them. Okay, so for each range, you need to calculate the total cost, and the minimum cost that brings by each order quantity will be selected for the range that minimizes the total cost of the systems. Okay, so in other words, if you calculated everything and notice that the minimum cost is in this range, okay, so you will decide the price in this range. If you notice that the total cost that minimizes the total system is here, although it is not valid, but you will select it. If you notice that's in here, in this range, then you will decide this range. So everything after this is not valid will be decided by total cost. Okay, total cost will decide which range will be selected. If you have not understand yet, which I believe many of you, I will solve one example. That example will clarify all of your doubts. Okay, so don't worry about that. So what is the question? The Value City Hardware Company or any company purchases 10,000 units of the product each year. So what does 10,000 represent?
Inventory.
So what does 10,000 mean? Isn't it total demand? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so demand is 10,000 per year. Be careful, sometimes it says 10,000 per month. So you need to multiply to 12, okay? So the total demand per year is 10,000. The supplier offers the unit for sale at $10 per unit for up to 799 units. And as you can see here, from 1 to 799 units, how much is the unit price?
$10.
$10. So for the second discount range, from 800 to any number above that, so 900, 1000, 2000. So how much is the unit price?
8.75.
8.75. So you see a kind of discount here. Let's continue the question. What is the economic order quantity if the order cost is $50 per order? So what is this parameter? Isn't it S? So the order cost is $50 per unit. So we have D, we have S. Clear for everyone?
Yeah.
So we have these two parameters. And the holding cost is 40% per unit per year. 40% of what? Do you see that? So this is, which parameter is it talking about? It's talking about H.
Holding
Yeah?
cost.
Yes, this is H or holding cost. So this is 40% of what?
Per
40% of unit price.
unit
Okay.
price.
So if I add a new column here and I call it H, okay, I'm just adding a new column here and I want to call it as H. How to calculate H? It will be 40% of unit price, right? So how much is the holding cost when the unit price is $10. It will be $10 multiply to point.
Point
40
14.
0.4.
So how much is the holding cost for the first
$4.
discount level? $4.
$4.
That's right. How much is the holding cost for the second discount level? This should be also multiplied
Multiplied
to
by point 40.
exactly. So whatever is the number, it will be the holding cost for the second discount level. Okay, everybody understand? So as you can see, holding cost will not be a fixed number when we have all unit discount system. Okay, it will be variable. Variable to what? Variable to unit price. Okay, because unit price is changing, holding cost will also be changed. Be careful about that. Okay, so I have D, I have S, and I have H. Can I calculate Q star? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because the formula of Q star is what?
Square
Formula
root
of
of
Q star?
TCS by H.
That's right. So it will be 2 multiply D multiply S divided by H. So I know that S is $50. Yeah, S is $50 as represented here. And D is 10,000 as represented here. And holding cost is 40% of because I am starting from the most interesting range, which is the cheapest price. So I am trying to calculate Q star for $8.75. Okay, so this is the cheapest price. So when I calculate it, I should consider H. Yeah, have a look at here. H should be calculated as 40% of what? $8.75. Okay, be careful about this. Many people do mistake here. So 40% of 8.75. If I put it here, finally I am able to calculate the Q star. So how much is the Q star?
535.
So 535 units. Is it valid or not? Do you remember I told you that I should explain how to identify if it is valid or not? Is 535 or 535 units in the range between 800 and more? Because if you buy in this range, you will be qualified for $8.75. Is 535 in this range? Yes or no?
No.
No, sir.
No. 535 is not 800 and more. So the Q star, which is 535, is not valid. Okay. So what should I do if it is not valid?
So we should
Can
take
go
the
to the
first option.
second step.
Exactly. I should go to second step. What if it was valid? For example, it was 835.
We can purchase the
Can
orders with the
Okay,
$8.75.
exactly. So everything was okay. I will stop here. I would say that 835 is the economic order quantity or the answer for the first basic question, that how much to order. Finished. I don't need to go to other steps. But in our case, as you can see, we found that it's not valid. That's why we should go to the second step. Okay, in the
So,
second step, yes, go ahead.
sorry to interrupt you, sir. Just small question. Why we why we took that $8.75? I mean, I got confused over here.
Oh, it was just one example.
Okay, because there were two unit price we have, right? 10 and 8.75. So we put the 8.75. That is why I
Oh,
asked.
this one. Oh,
Uh-huh.
this one. So this is the, so if you buy, okay, go back here. What was the first step? Calculate Q star
Okay,
for the
minimum unit
minimum unit.
price.
And
Got it.
what is how much is the minimum unit price?
8.75. Yeah, got it.
Exactly. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
So that was the first step. It wasn't valid. I should move to second step. In the second step, I need to calculate total cost. Yeah, I need to calculate total cost. Be careful here. Many people do mistake. When we are calculating total cost for discount models, we don't have only two components. We have component number one. We had it before. We have component number two, which is the holding cost. We had it before. We also have a new component, the third component, which we call it purchasing price. Okay, purchasing price is calculated by multiplying the total demand per year, which is 10,000 units, multiply to unit price, okay, which is 8.75. Okay, this is a new component of the total cost that we hadn't have it before. This is a new component. Okay, please add it to your total cost. If you're talking about classical economic order quantity, you have unit 1 and 2. Okay, only holding cost and ordering cost. But if you have discount models, you have a third component as well, which is the purchasing price. So it will be the total demand multiply unit price. Everybody understand? So this is the main difference between the first model, which is the classical model, and the third model, which is discount model or economic or discount units. Okay, let's go ahead. Total cost is calculated by 10,000 units multiply 8.75. This is the purchasing price, as you can see, component number 3. And then we have ordering cost, which will be S, which is $50. Yeah, do you remember? S was $50, as we have here. Multiply $10,000 divided by Q. Aren't you surprising that I am using 800 as the Q star? How did I get that? There is a very important note here. If your economic order quantity that you calculated in the first step is not valid, okay, you have to use the minimum value of that range as the economic order quantity. In this case, how much will be the economic order quantity?
800.
800.
800. Okay, so this is a very important rule. Many people do mistake. Be careful about that. If it is not valid, I have to use another value for Q, which is 800. So this is the way that I calculate the ordering cost, which is the first component. And then I have the last component, which is the holding cost. Okay, how to calculate holding cost? H is the first component of that, the first parameter of that. So how to calculate H? It will be 40% of unit price. So 40% multiply, how much is the unit price for the cheapest range? So it will be 40% multiply 8.75. So as I have here, this will be my H. So I should multiply H to which parameter? Q. Again, it's not 535, it's 800 because 535 was not valid. I have to multiply to 800 divided by 2 because this is the average of that. Then I'm able to calculate the total cost of this scenario. Which scenario? second discount level. Okay, so the total cost of the second discount level, how much is that? $89,000 and $525. Okay, so this is the total cost of the second discount level. What's the next step? What should I do as the third step? I should also calculate economic order quantity and total cost for the first range, correct? Everybody agrees? I have to also calculate all I have done so far for the first discount unit, for this one, to see which one makes the total cost cheaper. Okay, if I do that, what do you see here? I have to say that when the price is $10, economic order quantity is using the same formula, but be careful because S is not changing, D is not changing. However, H is changing. Because H is changing, I have to say 40% of $10, which is $4. Okay, be careful. Many people do mistake here. And at the end, how much is my economic order quantity? 500 units. Okay, is 500 units valid? How to know that? If I go back, is 500 units a number between 1 and 799? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is valid. Okay, so good. If it is valid, what should I do? Because this is valid, I need to calculate the total cost of the system. Okay, so total cost of the system, because this is valid instead of Q star. So which value I should use as the Q star? $500 is valid, so Q star is 500. Everybody agrees? Yes or no? Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. We are
so
trying to understand.
Actually.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. So let's start from scratch. For the first discount level or for the first step, okay, we notice that economic order quantity is not valid. So can I say that Q star is 535? Yes or no?
No.
It wasn't. Okay, so it's not correct because it's not valid for the first for the cheapest price. So 535 is not a number here. Okay, so it's not valid. When it's not valid, what should I do? Which value I should use? Q star is
800.
the minimum value in that range. What is the minimum value in this range?
800.
800. So in all of my calculations, in step number 2, for Q, I'm using 800, correct? Everywhere I'm using 800. But for the third step, when I calculated economic order quantity, I reached to 500. And if I go back, 500 is valid, okay? Because 500 is a number between 1 and 799, the range of discount, okay? Because this is valid, what should I do? For Q star, I will use 500. That's why for step number 4, that I am calculating the total cost of the system, okay? For Q, I'm going to use 500. Everybody agrees? That's the way that I should keep in mind. Otherwise, I will do mistake. Okay, so I remember that total cost has 3 components: purchasing price. What's the name of second part? Ordering price. or ordering cost. And what is the third component?
Holding.
Holding cost. Excellent. So again, many people do mistake here. Demand is clear, 10,000. Yeah, this is D. Demand is 10,000 per year. But for unit price, I am calculating the total cost when the unit price is $10. So here I am writing $10 for P. Okay, everybody understand? So don't write 8 point, where's that? 8.75. This is for the cheapest discount level. We are now calculating for the first one, for the first discount level. For the first discount level, how much is the unit price? $10. Okay, be careful about that. So $10 multiply 10,000 units. This will be the purchasing price or purchasing cost. Then I have S, which is still $50, no change. D, still 10,000, no change. And Q, how much was Q for the first discount level? 500 units. So here I'm going to write 500 units. Okay, if you multiply them together, you will reach to this component. Okay, now I need to calculate the holding cost. Holding cost is consists of H multiply Q divided by 2. So be careful. H is 40% of $10 because everything is calculated based on $10. Multiply Q. Q in this range is $500. Sorry, 500 units divided by 2. Finally, I get to $102,000. Okay, I am at the end of step number 4. What is step number 5? Comparing the cost for the first discount level and second discount level. Whatever is cheaper will be selected, right? So for the first discount level, how much was the total cost? For the cheapest one, which is 8.75. How much was the total cost? $89,000. Okay. For the a little bit more expensive one, how much is the total cost?
102,000.
So which one is cheaper?
The first one.
The first one is cheaper. Okay, $8.75 is cheaper. So what's your decision? The conclusion is very important. Look at here. The minimum cost order, which is $89,000, occurs at 800 units, correct? Remember why 800 units? Because this one the number was not valid. I need to use the minimum value in that range. What was the minimum value in that range? 800 units. Okay, so the conclusion is very important here. So that happens at this unit. So Q star for this problem will be 800 units. Therefore, or thus, the discount is attractive. Okay, I like it because the total cost of the system will be minimized. Okay, I like it. I will take it. I won't say no. I won't refuse this discount. I will say yes. And the lot of 800 units should be ordered. So each time that I'm ordering, I will order 800 units. Okay? Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, any doubts, anything that is in your mind that I have not addressed it? Okay, so that's
Professor.
okay, go ahead.
Yes, Professor. Like in the fourth step, if the cost is lesser than the previous one.
Yes. For example, $80,000. Yeah.
Yes, Professor.
So you would say that economic order quantity should be 500, okay? And I'm not interested in the discount. I will order at the units of 500. So whenever my quantity finishes, then I will order. So each time I order, it will be 800 units.
So professor, like if this question will appear in the exam, then we should mention the units, or like how we
Yes,
answer
yes,
it.
yes. The question will clearly ask that you should find Q star or total cost. Okay. In a majority of the items, I will ask you that which discount are they going to take, the first discount level or the second discount level? And if they take it, how much is the economic order quantity? So either of these two questions will be asked. Q star or what will be the unit price? Okay, so I may ask either of these two questions. Okay, so my recommendation for all numerical chapters: solve the questions by yourself and compare the results with the solution provided. I will upload some extra questions for you so that you can practice and learn more. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for next week. I'm going to upload some sample questions with solutions. You can solve it by yourself and compare the results. Okay.
Professor, Professor, I
Yes.
have one more question. Like, the answer is 800 units. So we should mention like we are taking the minimum units from the second order, like the starting initiating unit of the second order. Is this
Yeah.
the answer?
Yes. Both of them
Okay.
is are required. So depending on what I ask you, if I ask you which unit price will be taken, what's the answer?
8.75.
8.75.
Exactly. If I say how much is the minimum cost of the system?
Cost is 89,585.
89,000. That's right. If I ask you how much is the economic order quantity, which
800
what do you
units.
recommend exactly? So you
Okay, Professor.
understand. Yeah. Excellent. And again, I want to mention here, if in the first step economic order quantity was valid, should I go to the next steps?
No, sir.
No.
No. Okay. So for your final exam, I may ask a very simple question. Be careful about that. You may not need to go to next steps. Okay. So I think that's all for today. I don't want to make it very complicated. I have provided some extra slides for you to learn more, because in real world we have more complicated issues such as probabilistic models. So this is the fourth model. When we have uncertainties, when we have so many unclear situations that could happen in real world. So when it is not clear that what's going to happen, what should you do? You should keep extra items in your warehouse, which we call them safety stock. Okay. Safety stock is the extra item you keep in your warehouse. Do you remember how we calculate ROP? Yeah. Do you remember? So this is the answer to the second question, that when to order. Then we need to go to ROP, reorder point. So it was lead time multiply demand plus safety stock. Okay. So this is the new thing that I am adding right now. When we have uncertainty or probabilistic models, okay? In these cases, when there are some doubts or unclear situation, you need to keep a little bit extra items in your warehouse, and based on that, you need to order. So let me clear it with one example. If you are in your hometown, okay, or in your own country, you know all the situation, you know all the circumstances that could happen. If you go to a trip and you know everything is clear, you will take $1,000, for example, if you want to go to a 1 week trip. If you go to a foreign country that you have never been and you want to go to the same lengths of trip, for example, 1 week trip, will you take less money than your own country? or more money than your own country?
More money.
Plus a little bit extra, maybe $200 extra in your pocket for unpredictable situations, for something that you don't know what's going to happen in a new country, for example, when you go there. That is exactly the safety stock. Okay, so when you're calculating, for example, here you have ordered, your warehouse is full. When you have unpredictable situation, instead of ordering at L multiply D, you go a little bit higher. Maybe you order here, okay? Because you need to consider extra money, which is safety stock, okay? A little bit upper point you will order so that before you finish your inventory, you make sure that you will receive your orders before you're out of stock, okay? So that's the idea of probabilistic models. And some formulas how to calculate that. I'm not going to ask all of these questions. I'm not going to ask order review policies. These are just extra information for you. You can read them. This is the idea behind how inventory is managed in supply chains. And one example, and ABC inventory management. Uh, this will be discussed in other courses as well. I'm not going to review it again, but the slides are provided. Just-in-time systems, what do they mean and how they can help to minimize the inventory system? They will not be asked. So anything after discount model will not be asked in your final exam, but I see it very valuable if you spend time and learn about them for your own studies, okay? And that's all. I think I will not spend more time. Any questions before I finish the lecture today?
Yeah,
Related to the lecture, okay.
yeah. In just one thing. So just confirming, the chapters from 1 to 7, will that be in the final exam?
Everything, yes. Final
So,
exam is comprehensive, so everything will be in your actually in everything that I have taught will be in your final exam.
so Professor, one request: can you permit us to